Hello, my name is Christina Droney. I'm the occupational therapist at Ulster BOCES CITL in Port Ewan. Today, I would like to talk to you about my professional practice growth plan that was part of the Ulster BOCES Teacher Academy for 2021 school year. I'm going to go over my goal. I'm going to go over the two significant events that I attended in order to achieve or come closer to reaching my goal for this school year, and some of the reflection questions that are at the end of this document. So my goal for this school year was that I had created in phase one of this project. By the end of this school year, I will integrate a structured, progressive, and evidence-based social emotional learning approach into my OT treatment sessions with the students on my caseload during their OT sessions. So the first thing that I set out to do and I achieved is I attended the virtual New York State Occupational Therapy Association annual conference, which was held in November. The benefit of us being virtual this year for this conference was I was able to attend many of the courses and the poster presentations and things like that that were offered live as they were happening. And then I also had a period of time after the weekend conference that I could watch them on demand. So I just wanted to pull out some things that really hit home for me during that conference. So there was one particular speaker, occupational therapist working in a school district, school-based practice, and she really made us think about bringing things back to the basics. Obviously, students learning completely different during this time, during the pandemic, having to shift, having to adapt, and really gave good meaning of the role of occupational therapist in the students' lives. And as she reminded us of bringing us back to some of those basics, she really focused on meeting students where they are, providing choices, and sometimes less talk is more. And after I had heard her speak, I really started to really focus on utilizing some of these very basic strategies. And I really saw some amazing results with my students. For instance, I may have had a plan that I thought was going to be the best activity, worked on their IEP goal, student comes in, and I already sensed that this isn't going to go the way that I had planned. So I found myself making sure I had a plan B, a plan C, and sometimes allowing that student to just be present. My one and only visual for my presentation today is right above my head. And very simply, it's relax, refresh, and renew. And after listening to this particular speaker, reflect on really our role in social emotional learning and positive mental health, I set out a mission to really create an environment for when the students would come to OT into my area, that they would be allowed to, they would have the opportunity to do just that, to relax, to refresh, and to renew. And that really hit home, that particular one that I carried through, and I will continue to in the future as well. The second the second event that I attended virtually again, and I'm continuing, I'm not finished with it yet, is I began attending courses offered at the annual American Occupational Therapy Association conference, also all virtual. It began in the beginning of April, and we have until the end of June to watch as many on-demand courses that are offered, and that is nationwide. So there's a lot more topics organized by school-based, organized by positive mental health and social emotional learning specifically. And a couple of things so far that I have pulled out from some of those courses that I have listened to is the whole concept of therapeutic use of self. I remember learning about this concept in college, and it really hit home what an impact that occupational therapist can have when we just use the skills that we have, when we utilize who we are in a therapeutic session with our students and how impactful that is. And it's hard to put into words, but through that, I've kind of renewed that sense of how passionate I was about the concept of therapeutic use of self, promoting independence, allowing students to prove to themselves that they can achieve personal goals, not just listening to someone tell them you can do this, but actually in having them engage in occupation, purposeful, meaningful occupation to them that works on a particular skill. And it all ties in together with social emotional learning. And it's been really an awesome thing to just kind of hear other occupational therapists around the country, around the state, going through their evidence-based approaches and practice when it comes to this topic. So I really enjoyed this journey this year, and for the future, I want to continue to do things like this, seek out, once things open back up and we are allowed to go back in person, it's even more impactful. I do hope to network with OTs in person again, but if it's virtual, I'll take that too, as I'm able to fit it into my life, which is also a benefit, a silver lining of what we've been going through for the last year and a little bit. So I do think that I would, when I think about would I have changed my growth plan, looking back, I don't think I would have changed it. I really enjoyed kind of researching this and really diving deeper into the topic of social emotional learning and the specific role that occupational therapy has in that. And I do feel that changing the way I plan a session and the flexibility that I incorporate into that has not only helped the students, but it's helped me learn a lot about myself as well, and things that I can truly the things I can truly impact when engaging with my students. Thank you so much for your time.